For this meeting, there is a quorum of City Council present. Item number 2 and 3, Mr. Gene Anderson will deliver the invocation. The United States Pledge of Allegiance and Texas Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Mayor Pro Tem Mihir Pankaj. Please stand.
May we pray? Heavenly Father, we're indeed thankful for each and every blessing that you give us. We thank you for our country, and we just pray that you'd bless it on every level, local, state, and federal. Guide us and direct us, Father, according to your will, and might all we do bring glory to your name. For we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Item number 4, the Citizens Forum. Persons desiring to address the council must limit their presentation to more than 2 minutes. Unless an item is posted on the agenda, the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from responding to any comments other than to refer the matter to a future agenda, to the existing policy, or to a staff person with specific factual information. Claims against the city council members or employees, as well as individual personnel appeals, are not appropriate for the Citizens Forum. If necessary, the City Council may convene an executive session under Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code regarding any items on this agenda. If there is anyone here that wishes to speak about a zoning case of the agenda, please wait until the specific item is called, and you may speak when I open the public hearing for that item. The public forum is now open. If there is anyone who wishes to address the council, please come forward and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Cynthia Rice Timms, and my address is 344 County Road, 12200, Paris, 75462. I am the president of the Women's Republican Group here in our, well, actually over 3 counties, Delta, Red River, and Lamar. I have been in this delightful hamlet, as I call it, for 9 years, coming from Dallas, Flower Mound, and become very involved in the community and church. We have friends here and volunteer, and you know, I care about our community. I came from, Flower Mound, and I had my own business there. And my business was very active with both parties, particularly one. I was did a lot of work with advertising agencies and the talent and the models for them. And we all got along beautifully. We worked together. We, you know, if things got a little too political, we would just say, my way's right, shake hands, and just, you know, continue. And I hope to have that again here in our community. I think we could get a whole lot more done as such. I had the opportunity to meet with Glenn Hager, our Texas comptroller, last month, and I have persuaded him to come here to Paris, Texas. He's never been here. I've let him know I'm very impressed with our Paris Economic Development Center Corporation and Maureen Hammond, and bragged on this city, bragged on Mihir and what he is doing. And he has agreed to come February 1st. And I want all of us to be involved, to be proud of our city and show him the town. So does that sound good? Mm-hmm. Yes? And then also we are bringing in our Senator Brian Hughes, this Friday. And I would love for everyone to come. I have an invitation for everyone that's setting up here, and I hope to see you. I have a lot of various kind of friends, and I care for everybody. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It's a pleasure to meet you. Is there anyone else that wishes to address the council? Okay, the citizens forum is now closed. Consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are approved by a single action of the council, which such approval applicable to all items appearing on the consent agenda. A council member may request any item to be removed from the consent agenda and consider it to be a separate item. Does any member wish to remove any item from the consent agenda for discussion? Okay. If not, there's a motion to approve all items on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Regular agenda, item number 16. Convene into executive session, section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, consultation with attorney to receive legal advice for the city attorney about, 1, pending or contemplated litigation, and/or 2, on matters in which the duty of the attorney is to her client under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflict with this chapter, to wit, Oscar Renda Construction. The time is 5:37 p.m. and the city council is convening an executive session. 6:07 p.m. and the city council is in open session. There's no action taken. Item number 18, discuss and conduct a public hearing and act on the ordinance regarding the petition of Mark Homer and Monica Clement for a zoning change from a one-family dwelling district, number 2, SF2, to a multifamily dwelling district, number 1, MF1, in the city of Paris, Block 22A, Lot PT 18, LCAT 17458 and 17459, located in the 2400 block of East Price Street. Ms. Frazier?
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. The applicants, Mark Homer and Monica Clement, have requested a zoning change from SF2 to MF1. They're proposing to construct 4 new duplex structures. There's 2 lots here. They have been approved for a preliminary and final plat to combine the 2 lots. And they plan on having on-site parking, so there shouldn't be any traffic issues at this location. The existing land uses in the area include Wade Park. They're directly across from Wade Park. There's some apartment complex to the west of them, and then also to the east of them. There's a few single-family residential properties that are in the area. The comprehensive plan is guided for medium-density residential, so this is in line with the comp plan. We had one citizen that spoke at the planning and zoning meeting with some concerns about drainage in the area. The civil engineer for the property did attend that meeting and let them know that those issues will be addressed. They don't plan to shed any more water than what is currently at the site, so they will mitigate that problem and are working with the city to make sure that no extra water is being shed in that area. Since it is in line with the comprehensive plan, the city and planning and zoning did recommend approval for the change. So we are asking that you consider approval of this item.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Frazier. I will open a public hearing and ask for anyone wishing to speak about this item to please come forward and state your name and address for the record. I will now close the public hearing. Is there any discussion?
Make the motion to approve item 18 as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carries. 6-0. Item number 19, discuss and conduct a public hearing and act on the ordinance regarding the petition of the City of Paris, Texas to update the subdivision regulations of the City of Paris, Texas, specifically to amend Exhibit 9A subdivisions ordinance for the preliminary and final plating. Staff.
Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council, before you is the ordinance to make some minor changes to the subdivision ordinance, Exhibit 9A. For both preliminary and final plat, we are seeking to change the 10-day deadline for submittal prior to the P&Z Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to between 17 and no greater than 21 days ahead of that meeting. And that will give staff time 2 full weeks to consider, review, and make recommendations either to approve with conditions, or deny the said preliminary or final plat. Our normal operating procedure has been to require submission approximately 17 days prior, and it was brought to our attention that our ordinance was out of line with that. So we were trying to bring the ordinance back into what our standard practice has been. We're also seeking to revise the preliminary plat existing utilities to be shown by 811 location services. Previously, a lot of surveyors and engineers have been using the state or the city GIS database to show where the utilities are, and the GIS database is pretty close in some ways, but a lot of ways it's pretty far off, and it's such a large variation, we cannot rely on a non-surveyed and non-located utility location in the plat. So the revised language is the location and size of existing utilities shall be shown. These utilities shall be located by 811 location services, and the use of the City of Paris Geographic Information System database shall not be permitted to be used for location of existing utilities on the plat. The last and final request for change in this meeting was to also have the plat submitted to the Office of the City Engineer. In approximately 1979, the plat submission location was the Director of Public Works, and we want to bring that in line with current practice of my office to consider these.
Thank you, sir. I will open the public hearing and ask for anyone wishing to speak about this item to please come forward and state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Is there any discussion?
I just had a comment.
Absolutely.
Mr. Mitke, I do appreciate the cleanup. I know it's a hard task to come in and try to figure out, hey, what are some of the practices that have been done? So thank you for going through, and to the city staff to look through and kind of dice through and figure things out and organize it. So I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Is there any further discussion? Are we here a motion?
I move that we authorize amendments to the current subdivision ordinance.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor say aye. 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 All opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, sir. Item number 20, discuss and accept the bid for Lloyd D. Neighbors demolition for the demolition of the Belfort Building, award a contract in amount not to exceed $588,000, and authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents. Mr. Mitch.
Again, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Before you is the proposal for accepting Lloyd G. Neighbors demolition to demolish the Belford Building at 260 South Main Street, and also the accessory building nearby, 230 South Main Street. We received 6 total bids for this project between up to $1 million to do this, but this bid, we believe, is the best value for the city at $588,000. This is also in partnership with the neighboring property owned by We Right LLC, and they have sold the building. They retain the land, but have sold the building for demolition at the same time with this small accessory structure to the north of the Belford Building, and this saved a very large quantity. We can't be sure exactly how much, but probably in the order of about $250,000 to not have to structurally shore this small building that also was dilapidated and in dire need of demolition. So we looked at a wide variety of more than just price to do this, and through the 6 bidders, we found that Lloyd D. Neighbors demolition both had the evaluation for past experience with local governments, ability to meet the specs. They visited the site, asked great questions, had great references, and brought them above in the 6 different contractors that applied with their bids.
And in the language of bidding law, they have been found to be the lowest responsible bidder.
Anything else, Mr. Todd?
No, sir. I'm able to answer any questions you might have.
Is there any discussion?
And this, just for clarification, this money is available in the ARPA funds, right?
Yes,
The
sir.
American Rescue Plan Act. And just for clarification, I know the answer to this, but everybody doesn't. Who retains ownership of the land after this building has been torn down?
The owner of the property is Boomer Trends Magazine, a corporation, and they will retain ownership after the demolition. It is likely that we would want to schedule another sheriff's sale based on our judgment. We have a $2.1 million something judgment based on our civil penalties on that land, and it's likely that we would want to go ahead and schedule another sheriff's sale for that after the demolition.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any further discussion? I hear a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. Item number 21, receive presentation about the construction of pickleball courts at the sports complex and provide direction to staff. Mr. Harris.
Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, let's talk pickleball tonight. So recently, Councilman Savage, city staff, Sue Hayes, Coach Felty, we had the opportunity to meet and discuss the growing phase of pickleball in the city of Paris. And Sue Hayes is here tonight to give a presentation to council. And basically what we're asking from city council tonight is to provide direction to staff. Sue and Coach Felty have made an offer to the city of Paris that they are willing to pay for construction of up to 8 pickleball courts. And we're looking for the next steps. We'll have to draw up a contract for the city of Paris. City would retain ownership of the property and also ownership of the courts after they're constructed, and also maintain those courts. So without further delay, it's my pleasure to introduce Sue Hayes. So Sue, come on up.
Thank you, and I want to thank you all for listening to us, because I know with such a silly name as pickleball, I'm sure you kind of smiled the first time you heard that. Like, this is not a serious game, but I can't tell you how serious it is. In fact, today's Monday, and this last week, 7 days in Farmers Branch in Dallas, they held a national tournament for pickleball in Texas. Are you kidding me? Florida has so many courts. California's #1, just courts everywhere you go. There are courts on cruise ships, there are courts in Bed Bath & Beyond, there are courts in airports. Everywhere you look, pickleball is just growing, and you don't understand until you've been out there and start playing this silly little game. And I have one smiling up there, and you all know what's happened. I am addicted, and so is someone else up there. Paris has just got to move on with pickleball. The tournament I was talking about, they had 4,000 players there this weekend in Farmers Branch. Not just any 4,000 players. Each one of those players had won a tournament to be eligible to play in that tournament.
Wow.
And so when you think about that, and they chose Dallas. Of course, Texas, that's who we are. We've got to be the biggest and the best, but we're not there yet. But we can be there if these towns like Paris, Texas, starts building things like pickleball. We need it so badly. We need the people to get together and love each other and love the game. And that's how we are. Since I talked to you last time, I think I said I had like 817 members in Paris, Texas pickleball. I have 918 now. 101 more people have joined pickleball. It's just addictive. It's just so hard to explain. We laugh so hard at each other, and we become good friends. We become family. We know what's going on in each other's lives. we're playing a lot at PJC now, and I really don't like to because we don't have backstops between the courts yet. They're just didn't allow us to have them. But the courts at Culberson, thank you. Thank you so much. Those tennis nets divided, and it's really, really good. And I think you all know there is a problem there. We've got to address, or maybe I should need to say, you all need to address to take care of that so we feel safe going there. And we do in the mornings. We're fine going there in the mornings. I encourage everybody to go play there. Is there anything I could help you with to make you understand about pickleball? I can't until you come out, and I've invited all of you out, so don't tell me anything that you don't have a place to play. You can join Paris, Texas Pickleball on Facebook, and it's there, our schedule all the time, and it's been that way for quite a while. We have 7 churches that have pickleball lines and pickleball courts right now, and some of them haven't revealed them. They're going to reveal them this week. And we'll have a rotation where they go to different churches when it's so cold that you can't play outside. But actually, it never gets too cold to play outside in Paris, Texas. We think it does. But the northern people, I've seen videos where they're playing on ice. They scoop the snow away so they can play. It's just that big a thing. I can't make you understand how big pickleball is. And Paris just can't be left behind. I've been fighting this for 4 years. That's long enough. Let's do something for Paris and for the people in Paris of all colors and all ages. Families. I've caught a family out there, a man and his three kids. They didn't know how to play. Of course, here I am, old Sue Hayes. Here she is, getting out of that car and going up there where that family is, showing them how to play pickleball, and they were just so happy, so elated. And it's such a family thing, too. When you get out there and play together, little kids, grown people, grandmothers and grandfathers out there with them. Are you kidding me? Pickleball in Paris? We can't stop this. It's got to keep rolling, and I need your help. And I only need like 1/4 of an acre of land out there. That's not asking too much. And I've also got quite a few sponsors with fairly large donations supporting me now. And so I'm tickled to death about that. It's going to be big. Just got to get all of you on board and all of you playing pickleball. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes.
Tommy, would you like
And behind Sue.
I'm limping up here because I play pickleball.
That's
It's
probably
very
why I can't play.
addictive, and, you play and you limp, but we appreciate y'all having us here, and I think it's definitely a star for the city of Paris. We got our sports complex out there. It's just something to add to it. You got the trail, the rail to trail. You have soccer out there now. You even have campsites out there. People could bring their campers out there and stay and play. You got a place you can fish out there even. I think you can just continue to progress and grow out there. But I think this is a big part of it, and it really puts Paris on the map. It sticks you right up there with Rockwall, McKinney, all these other places that have had it, and we go over there and play as well, and we deserve that. And one thing, Sue talked about all these churches and all the lines that we have. The problem is we have so many players. Most churches can only hold 2 courts at a time. So a lot of people are sitting, and you have to water the games down, not play for as many points and things because there's just not room. And even with 4 courts now, it's pretty busy, and you still have to sit and wait some. It also can bring in nice tournaments. When you have a facility like this, people are going to come. You build it, they'll come, as they say. And so it brings in the heads for the beds and all that. I know that everybody looks for in this town, but anyway.
There's something else I left out about that national tournament. We had people from Paris, Texas Pickleball over there playing in that national tournament.
All right, good.
And we had another couple, and one of the guys that's back here now, they were over at Oasis in a tournament, and they brought back medals too. So our group is real.
Good deal.
But anyway, we appreciate your time and appreciate you listening
Thank
to our
you.
passion.
Thank you, Coach. Is there any discussion?
Well, can't help but see the energy that that Ms. Sue brings to the table from the very beginning. And, you know, she said, we're trying to introduce this to everybody, and she's right, just from things I've heard, you know, they're trying to introduce it to different age groups, they're trying to introduce it to different demographics, and they're not just talking about it, they're doing it, and she spoke about unity. Well, that brings unity. And also, they're putting their money where their mouth is, you know, with, you know, wanting to put up their own money. And just want to commend the staff. As far as the issue you're talking about at one of the parks, they're already working on it. So I appreciate Doug, Rob, Bill, M.A., everybody else that's involved that's trying to help with this. So everybody's just working together on this, and it's the energy. You can't stop the energy. So it's coming. So, and it would be a great addition to the Civic Center area.
Ms. Moore?
Yes, I want to say to my pickleball family, thank you all for helping me because I didn't have a clue about pickleball. And I went in my uniform, and Miss Sue made me get on the court in my uniform. But hey, I love it. It's very addicting, and I have so much fun. I didn't make it today, but I will be there tomorrow. So pickleball, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good.
So thank you guys for making me feel comfortable and helping me.
So council, just to summarize what we're asking for tonight is direction from you as a governing body on giving us your authorization to move forward with negotiations with the Paris Pickleball Group and start drafting contract documents for that. And again, this would be at the sports complex. The city would set aside the necessary amount of property at the sports complex, and then we'll move from there. So we're just looking for direction from you tonight.
I think it's safe to say this is a no-brainer. And I mean, there's a lot of people that are really supportive of this sport. I would like to take part one day whenever I get some sleep a little bit, but I will get out there soon enough. But I think that would be great. And you know what? The initiative that so many of us feel passionate about are kids, and you kind of highlighted that. And so, you know, we would love to see that integrated within the youth and for our next generation and generations to come. Yeah, absolutely, for them to be able to take part and grow. So that would be great. I'm a big proponent. Let's do it.
Okay.
You have my support on that, sir.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Item number 22, discuss and act on a resolution approving and authorizing an amendment to the Economic Development Agreement between the City of Paris, Texas, and Emerald Hospitality LLC Home Suites. Mayor Pro Tem Pankage has filed a conflict of interest affidavit, and I need a motion to recuse him.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. Staff, do you have a presentation? Please?
It's a very short presentation. Back in 2022, the council approved an economic development agreement with Mr. Ponkage's group, Emerald Hospitality, on this home to suites hotel project with event space. He is nearly complete on that project. The term of the agreement provided that he needed to be open by the end of the year. He's had some supply chain issues and has asked for 90 days. He actually thinks he can be open by the end of January, but just to be safe, so we didn't have to do this again, we kind of agreed on 90 days. And we would recommend that you approve an amendment to that contract, giving him until April 5th to be open and to guests.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Make the motion that we approve item 22, the city's recommendation on item 22.
All right, is there a second? Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. I need a motion to return Mr. Mayor Pro Tem Pankage to the meeting, please. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, let's get him back.
You want to vote on that? Did you vote on that?
No. Vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you for the assist,
You're welcome. I was actually right this time.
Item number 23, discuss and act on the ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Finance to direct revenues collected in excess of the 2022-2023 budget amount and in excess of actual expenditures for the fiscal year 2022-2023 to various departments, increasing their expenditure budgets for the fiscal year 2022-2023 in an amount of sufficient to cover all operating expenses, making other findings and provisions related to the subject, providing a repealer clause and a severability clause and a savings clause, and providing an effective date. Mr. Ash.
Mayor Pro Tem, and council, we brought forward back in September a budget amendment for the 22-23 budget. One thing I failed to consider when I calculated those numbers was the payroll accrual for days worked in September but not paid until October. And as it just happened to fall this year, that was an entire pay period that gets rolled back into September for expense purposes under accrual accounting. And so we brought forth a second budget amendment that takes that into consideration. And as my memo said, we were fortunate that our revenues exceeded our budget by more than enough to cover that extra pay period, because it amounted to a 27th pay period during the year, and still add to our budget reserve. So we would request that you approve the amendment that's been brought before you today.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Is there any discussion? I'll hear a motion.
I move that we approve an ordinance amending the fiscal year 22-23 budget.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. Item number 24, discuss and act on an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a solid waste collections permit to Triple T Sanitations. Staff?
Triple T is they're another new business to Paris. They've filed an application, they've submitted their required insurance as a solid waste solid waste hauler, and we are recommending approval.
Is there any discussion? None, I'll hear a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Item number 25, receive the annual comprehensive financial report, ACFR, fiscal year ending 9/30/2022. Mr. Anderson.
Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, as you know, the charter requires us to have an annual audit conducted by an independent certified public accountant. We normally present that to you as just an agenda item under the consent, but the city manager asked me to put it on the regular agenda since we have some new council members that have never heard a presentation about our audit. And so I have Brittany Martin, who is one of the partners at McClanahan and Holmes. She's going to come forward and make a brief presentation about the audit.
Good evening.
Good evening.
As Jean said, I'm Brittany. I've done the audit for the city for several years now and never presented to you all, so thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing McClanahan Holmes to continue to work with the city. I understand that you've received our packages through your board book, so if you have questions, please ask them. This is going to be very high-level, brief overview, but I welcome questions, welcome follow-up phone calls or anything else from that point. As Jean said, this is the 22 financial statement, so this is nearly a year later. The Governmental Accounting Standards Board recently issued 2 pronouncements that really have delayed all of our audits. One of them is leases, which went into the 22 financial statements, and the other one is regarding what we call subscription-based IT arrangements. That will be in our 23 audit, so we hope it's not as delayed, but that just is the world that we live in. So. I'll start by just kind of talking about what the purpose of an audit is, because a lot of people do not understand what we're doing really. On page 1 of that report is what we call our opinion. And so when we give an opinion, what we're saying is that your financial statements appear to be fairly stated. There's no material misstatement in that, and we call that an unmodified opinion. So on page 1 there is our opinion stating such. Starting on page 4 is actually called the management's discussion, and Jean writes that every year, and it gives a really good summary of everything, the changes in the financial statements. Again, we're talking about numbers always that are already there, that it's already happened, there's no changing it, so it's important to keep that in mind, but they're good forecasters for what comes next. The main section there is after the MD&A is just our audited financial statements that start with statement 1 and go through there. The things that I'll hit and point out is we have two different types of financial statements, what we call government-wide, which is the whole government, so all of the funds put together, and then there are the fund levels. So at government-wide, revenues exceeded expenses by about $6.9 million, which is an increase, just due to an overall increase of all types of revenue. So from property taxes to sales taxes to franchise, everything pretty much went up. At the fund level, total governmental fund balance went up about $2.9 million, and proprietary, which is the water sewer, went up about 2.7. So all positive changes there. The budgetary comparison schedule is on page 21. I know that's kind of a good topic for you guys. All of our discrepancies this year, some of them look large, but they are because of two main things. One, the leases that we talked about, that's really just a financial statement number that caused some reclassifications. And then, of course, the pension bond. So the pension bond it was put in one fund, had to move to another, so it does show a large discrepancy there. The rest of the notes there really just expand upon these numbers. They give detail about what's in each number on those financial statements. And then we come to our compliance section, which is if you are over a threshold, we have to audit some federal funding that was received. Findings are in there if you'd like to look those over and let me know if you have any questions on them. I'm happy to explain. Some of them are normal with an entity this size, and some of them are specific to those programs. As I said, next year is another new pronouncement for GASB 96, so it'll be another big year. In 22, we looked at 104 leases, so it took quite some time. We hope it's not as much for the subscription base, but we'll see. So, any questions?
All right, thank you, ma'am. Is there any discussion? All right.
Ken, thank you all.
Thank you. Item number 26, convene into executive session pursuant to A, Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, consultation with attorney to receive legal advice for the city attorney about 1, pending or contemplating litigation, and/or 2, on matters in which the duty of an attorney to her client under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflict with the chapter as follows: wastewater treatment and plant access easement. B, Section 551.087 of the Texas Government Code, 1, to discuss and deliberate regarding commercial or financial information to the government body and receive from a business prospect to the government body seeks to have, locate, stay, and/or expand in a near or the territory of the government body in which the government body is conducting economic development negotiations, and/or 2, to deliberate the offer of a financial other incentive to a business prospect described by subdivision 1 as follows: Westgate Tax Abatement Agreement. Time is 6:38 p.m. and the City Council is convening an executive session. Okay, item number 27, reconvene into open session and possibly to take action on those matters discussed in executive session. It is 7:12 p.m. and the City Council is in open session and no action taken. Item number 28, consider and approve future events for the City Council and our city staff pursuant to Resolution number 2004-081. All right, well, I have to mention downtown Christmas tree lighting, November 18th at 6 p.m. The schedule includes 4 to 6, free wagon rides, 4 to 8, live reindeer and Santa and Mrs. Claus, 5 to 6, area choir and solo performers, popcorn and hot chocolate served. A small business Saturday, November 25th, 11 to 4 p.m., in historic downtown. Register to win $300 downtown dollars by shopping at any participating store. And Christmas parade Saturday, December the 2nd, The theme, Christmas That Is Out of This World, at 6 p.m. To register, to downtownptx.com. Does anyone have anything else? The motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
We're adjourned.